Terry,
Hello.
I need a scream room. They have like in these houses, they have safe rooms
Yeah.
to keep you away from if somebody invades your house or the aliens come or something along those lines.
Yes, I do. I know what you mean.
Yes, I need a scream room, one that I can go into when at the end of the pick four, when my top pick wins the first race, my top pick wins the second race, my second choice wins the third race, and then the fourth race comes and boom, off to the scream room you go.
That's right.
Oh man, that drives me crazy, Terry. That's why we talk about doing exactas and trifectas and stuff like that along the way, because heck, even if you played the pick three, we singled the one horse in the second leg, the 6 horse, right?
Yeah.
And our both of our top choices in the first leg won the first leg, and then the 4 horse winning that third. So it was it was the easy pick 3 that for 50 cents paid $27 and change. So if you had put $2 on it, you would have got 118 back. So that's why, playing some other things along the way makes perfect sense, I think.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. So.
For sure. So and I know yesterday you found Sasquatch. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah. It didn't pay great. You almost doubled your money. So I won all 3 legs at Indiana Grand,
right?
Yes, and even the last race was just quarter horse race, won pretty easily. So it paid, I think, for $20, starting with 20, it paid like $39.40. So
nice. Well, bad. I mean, that's not bad. So, and all your horses were winners?
No, 1 winner, 2 winners, and 1 second.
Beautiful, so. Beautiful. That's the way we want to do it around here. We want to catch Sasquatch, but we're still looking for the clean sweep, Terry. We haven't quite found it yet, where we come home with everything in one day, a full bag full of groceries, and not just like a couple of things sticking out here and there out of your pockets, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen yesterday until that last leg. So
I felt like it was going to happen too, Terry. It looked good, and I thought, well, we got half the field in the last leg, and then boom, out of nowhere, the 2 horse just on the outside and killed us. So well, maybe today at Belmont we'll try our luck in New York today. So one of the things
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, well, the weather's nice. There aren't a lot of scratches, so there wasn't a lot of late changes other than me fighting with my computer this morning, which I don't know, Terry. Sometimes I feel like, and right now I'm in my dungeon, but I still feel like I want to throw the computer out the window sometimes. I wonder if everybody has that sensation.
Oh, yeah. I get very frustrated sometimes. Like when it starts to act up and go real slow or freezes, and then I have to reboot it. It can be really aggravating.
Yes, I'm surprised that my keyboard is still intact, to be honest with you, because sometimes when I get a little bit impatient, I can hit things a little harder than they're meant to be hit. A nice little boom when I'm pressing the space button, and I've done that a couple times where I've messed up keyboards, and then afterwards you just have that, oh man, you're so stupid feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know because I've got a little drawer that comes out with my keyboard, and when we missed that last leg yesterday, I slammed it. Then I couldn't hardly get it out. It was all stuck in there. Had to pull. Finally got it out.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Believe me, I know. That's why I say I need a scream room. That's why I stay away from things when I'm. I just know I stay away. I don't want to break anything. When I was a kid, look out! I used to wrestle, and if I would lose a match, the bones in my hand have little bumps in them from me hitting things because I would get so angry when I would lose. But that was many years ago. Anyway, let's talk about what's happening in the news today: politics and horse money. We talked about this story just a couple of days ago about in Massachusetts, where they have this horse racing fund, and it accumulated $29 million or something along those lines, or $20 million plus. And at the time I mentioned, there's a pool of money there. It won't be long before the politicians find it and go, ooh, let's spend this on something else. Because there's only one standardbred track in all of Massachusetts and no thoroughbred tracks, and the money's earmarked for thoroughbreds, and now it's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, agricultural things, I guess. And I mean, they say it's also going to help to try to open a new thoroughbred track, but mainly I think it's going to, agricultural.
You know how that stuff always starts, Terry, right? Social Security, we're only ever going to tax the 1%, and it's never going to go more than 3% of your income, and blah, 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 blah. These taxes and once they get in there, they're like roots in your sewer system. Once they're in there, you're screwed. You ain't never coming out.
No, you're not. They're not, and they don't keep their promises on anything.
No.
So,
I mean, I don't know, the most double-tongued people on the planet, unquestionably, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, here's another political thing. And I feel in somehow, way, shape, or form, we actually had a say in this one, but not really. But we are one of the first people to bring this to light. Is in New York, they have a bill now that reached the governor so that they no longer couple jockey. Okay, they no longer couple couples, right?
Right.
So Trevor McCarthy and Katie McCarthy now, they were people remember they were racing at Aqueduct. And what happened was, even if they were for different trainers on different, completely unrelated horses, they got coupled because they were a couple.
Yes.
And when this first happened and they were on our show and we discussed about how crazy it was, and we had other jockeys on that talked about how crazy it was, especially when you have folks like, and I'm not putting anybody down here or anything like that, but when you have Chad Brown and you have Chad Brown, and he's got 3 horses in a 6-horse field, why aren't they coupled?
I don't know. They should be, I guess. It makes sense. I really don't like coupling any of the horses for any reason whatsoever. But
Tom Carley agrees with you. Horsing should eliminate all coupling, bet on each individual horse. I agree with you.
I agree with that too, because I hate when I've got a coupled horse and then they take one out, and the one they take out is the one I really liked. Now, a lot of times it works the other way and the horse wins, but a lot of times it doesn't. And I didn't want that in, like, say, my pick 4 or my pick 3. So,
yeah, I agree. Horses are not coupled in stakes races, and they shouldn't be coupled. I don't think they should be coupled either. I don't know. We don't couple them in our contests, though. So it's just funny about that, because when we were coupling them, and when people found out we weren't coupling them, and maybe it wasn't funny, but they weren't happy about it. They wanted a 2-for-1, baby.
That's
right.
right.
And I understand the 2-for-1, thinking there, but we, each horse, as far as the data is concerned, is considered different. That's why in our contest they're considered different. That's why Chad Brown horses are not coupled. Well, they shouldn't be coupled, but a lot of times I do think trainers put one horse in the race to benefit another. Not always, but sometimes. But
sometimes they'll put a rabbit in there to really run hard, and the other horse come from close off the pace or a little bit behind, and that rabbit will run the other 2 or 3 horses that are fast into the ground. And then the other one will come from behind. I think that's one of the things they do or try to do.
Mm-hmm. So we had our Sean Drupp had an opportunity to speak with Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith coming into the Breeders' Cup here. Great article over on Horse Racing Radar if you haven't had a chance to check it out. He's number 1 in Breeder Cup wins, so he's also top in purse earnings, $36 million in purse earnings, Terry. Yeah. And he spent some time talking to Sean about, kind of what happens from a jockey standpoint before a race, before like the Breeders' Cup, like the horses you're going to be on, and kind of what you're looking for and as a jockey and that sort of thing, and the kind of word who's in, who's out, what trainer wants you on what horse. It's pretty interesting take.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to take a look at that or not?
I did not. I looked at basically I was looking at what horses Mike Smith was going to ride at the Breeders' Cup, and he had his choice of Pinehurst or
Corniche
in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Right. And of course, he's either going to ride Art Collector or Essential Quality. So
So I mean, he's not like so many people believe Corniche is the best 2-year-old.
Yes.
May not be the best 3-year-old next year when they hit the Kentucky Derby, but he looks like he's the best 3-year-old right now. Spend money on to enter rabbit that is racing. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, okay. Well, if he's going to spend money on, I agree. If he's putting money in there, right? It's all strategy.
I don't have a problem with that. So
no, I'm just saying if a husband and wife are coupled, why wouldn't the trainer's horses be? He's really got a conflict of interest. I'm sure the husband and wife, they both want to win, because whether one wins and one finishes second, that paycheck ends up in the same house. Right?
Yeah.
That's right. It says Witt wins the juvenile. Forget the California horses. Ooh, Witt couldn't win the last race he was in. talking about? Come on, Tom. Got buried behind a wall. And I don't criticize jockeys very much, but during that day, Terry and I watched it, and that was not the best effort in terms of the path that I think it was Irad wrote, right? That day. And it's hard to criticize Irad, but the one gentleman who joins us from England always criticizes them.
Oh, yeah.
And colorful language, too. I wonder if it's accented. Anyway. So let's move on, Terry, to what everybody comes here for. I mean, the whole purpose of this show, Terry, is what? Terry's best bet.
That's right.
Right. That's the whole concept.
Yesterday at Kingland, I picked the first leg of the pick 5 going into our pick 4, and I picked the entry. And of course, they scratched one of the entries, and it was really odd because they scratched the one I liked the best, but the other one won. And it paid $460, $240, and $220. Unfortunately, my second choice, enjoy it while you can, right after the break was pulled up and vanned off, and my third choice ran out of the money. But
well,
today,
at least you had the winner.
Yeah, I did. And so if you had used my pick as just a single and then did your pick 4 and happened to catch that 2 in that last race, you would have had the pick 5.
Sure would have.
Yep. Today's pick is at Belmont, the third race. It's number 5, Mr. Briggs. Likes to lead and now is cutting back from a mile to 6.5 furlongs. Linda Rice is a high percent trainer. She wins 33% of the time when she brings a horse back after only 5 days. And that's what they're doing with this horse. Irad Ortiz rides him and has the record in the last 14 days of 6 wins and 20 mounts at 4 seconds and a third.
Hope he doesn't get caught behind a wall there, Terry.
No, that's true. But I really like this horse. Number 6, Jake Rocks, is a closer, finishing third in his last race. His best speed, dirt speed, is the fastest among today's starters. And then number 3, Supply and Demand, has won 2 out of 5 career races and has the highest earnings per race than any of the other horses in the race.
Sounds like a good ticket there, Terry. Hopefully you go 1, 2, 3 in order, and we get that trifecta to close out the week, because Terry, of course, tomorrow's Friday. Yes. And Terry, in his contract, demanded Fridays off in bold letters, red print. I was kind of startled when I saw it. When I reached out to his representation, they said this is not negotiable.
Except for tomorrow night.
Well, yeah, then we negotiated. Speaking of which, tomorrow night, we're going to do something fun tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night, Terry. And that's usually we have our live contest where Terry and I do our commenting on Saturdays between races. But tomorrow, we're going to do it tomorrow night at Remington Park. And trainer Carl Broberg is going to be on with us tomorrow. And if you follow him on Twitter, he definitely has opinions. He's not afraid to hold back, and hopefully, we can get him to unleash a little bit tomorrow. But he says his goal is not really to tell stories tomorrow, but it's to stuff our listeners' pockets full of cash. So if he can do that too, if he can say something funny and also stuff our pockets full of cash, hell, maybe we'll reach out to him and give him a contract and let him put things in there in big red bold letters, Terry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
For sure. All right, Terry. So the next thing on our list of things to do, like always, is our Fly 4. And today's Fly 4, yesterday was at Keeneland. So today we're heading on over to Belmont Park, starting in race number 6. It's a maiden claiming $25,000 race, Terry, with the purse of $37,000, 6 furlongs on the main track, which typically favors horses that are fast out of the gates. So who is your top choice, Terry?
Well, you might be surprised by this. My top choice is Mira Fleener, a first-time starter. Yeah.
And what number is that one?
Number 10.
10. Okay.
And the sire wins 16% of the time with first-time starters. And the dam has 2 winners from 3 starters. The trainer, Todd Fletcher, wins 26% of the time with a mating claiming race. And the breeding suits today's sprint distance, and the trainer jockey combination of the last 14 days has a record of 2 wins and 2/3 out of 8 starts.
Yeah, that was my 4th pick, Terry. So I left it off my hot dog because I feel like a couple of other horses in this race are probably going to get the better of it. But if it's the highest odds and we make it through the pick 4 on the fly, I'll take the one with the biggest payout. But for me, my top choice was number 2, Tom's Feisty Girl. Dropping in class, a couple of horses in here, down from a $75,000 purse down to the $37,005 that I mentioned. Had one of the top last race speed figures. And that speed figure, Terry, was the only one in the field that was attained, which is above par for this level. So I'm going to go ahead and put Dom's Feisty Girl in there as my number 1 pick.
And I have no problems with that. It was my 3rd pick. She's been off for more than 5 months, but has been steadily working in preparation for this race. And as you said, she has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
And I do like Manny Franco on a front-running type horse. So.
Yes.
All right. So who else do you like?
Number 8, Know It All Red. She was knocking at the door to try and break her maiden, finishing in the money 3 races in a row, and then she ran a disappointing 5th at 6 furlongs, but she came very wide into the stretch, so has somewhat of an excuse.
Yeah, I think the last word should not be red. And this should be rich, right?
Yes.
Know It All Rich. Yeah. I had Know It All Rich as my 3rd pick on this particular spot. The horse should be one that showed some improvement. I think cutting back helps out. Has run well at Belmont. Last time out, the fractions were better than the race before when it ran 6 furlongs. Although the speed number went down, the fractions were quicker. So I don't always put so much stock into the I do like the speed figures, but standalone, it's not my number 1 thing. I also like to confirm them with fractions. And I feel like if a horse runs better fractions and the speed figures goes down, that's kind of it's an improvement that's maybe hidden that some people might overlook. So that's the reason why I like the 8 horse. And then for me, Terry, my other pick in this spot, and I don't know where you are in terms of your other horse, but I like number 4, Exact Change. I know okay, so I don't have to tell you why. Why do you like it?
Well, I like it because she showed early speed in her last race, although she did fade at the end, but she drops in class today and has a really good workout, 48.3, breezing from the gate, 3rd best out of 39.
That's exactly the reasons I like the horse. The speed out of the gate last time, which is different from the first race where the horse tried to close. And now they're switching it over to dirt, which should be, I don't know how that works out for the horse, but hopefully well. Based upon the efforts on Belmont's training track, though, since that last race in August, those workouts have been pretty solid. So I think we have the 2, 4, 8, and 10. The only other horse we need in there, Terry, is to make this one is the 6, so that we have all the even numbers. Should we just put the 6 to the side for the heck of it?
That sounds fine. Although I'd like to put the 9 to the side too, Captivating Care, because 9 always gets us. Yeah, and she's improved in her speed numbers in 4 races in a row, finishing 3rd in her last race. And it appears that she can either lead or run close to the pace. So let's put her off to the side.
All right. Yeah, I was just kidding about the 6 horse. I don't really ever pick horses like that. I mean, sometimes I probably should. I might have thrown the 2 horse off to the side like that yesterday, but what are you going to do? Broberg is a little subdued. I hope you can get him open up a little bit. Yeah, that is the exact opposite of the truth there, Tom. He's a little bit he's got a lot to say. And I actually kind of appreciate that. I'd rather, I'd rather somebody be, as the Bible said, be hot or cold. Just don't be lukewarm. And I like the fact that he's on the hot side in terms of personality, not the looks or anything like that. All right. So race number 7, 1 mile on the main track, 1 turn, Terry. Again, it's one that tends to favor speed at Belmont. Those wide sweeping turns really don't open up inside lanes for horses to kind of snug that rail and blow by tiring horses as they blow the turn. We saw that all day long when we were doing the live at Belmont for the past 2 weeks. Who do you like as your top pick here, Terry?
Okay, I like number 7, Fast Break. The trainer wins 25% of the races after claiming a horse, and this horse's best dirt speed is the fastest among today's starter, tied with another one, as jockey Irad Ortiz, that in the last 7 days he's been burning up. He's won 6 out of 20, 4th, 2nd, and a 3rd. So this is the one for me. That's
your top choice. Are you going to lock that one, Terry?
Let me look. Yeah, I'm going to lock that. I like that horse.
You're going to lock that one. All right. Because this is going to be one of those races. I don't even know if you remember, if you've been watching it. Last week, Terry and I had a race where there was 8 horses in the field.
Uh-huh.
And we each had 4 different horses. We didn't have one horse that overlapped. I got a feeling we might be in that same spot here today because I don't have the 7, but since you're locking him, I'm going to put him in there. All right.
Well, one other thing I can say about it is he did not appear to like the muddy track or off track. And if the weather holds out, which it's supposed to, I think will fare a lot better in this race.
Well, he does have the top pedigree for the distance and surface, so I'll give him that, Terry. Okay. But for me, my top pick here was the 2 horse. Do you have him?
Lakota Road, yeah, my 3rd pick.
Okay, so yeah, last time out, the horse ran fairly well, won, and you saw again the fractions went up a little bit, but a lot of the internal numbers, particularly in the early part of the race, went up. So I feel like the horse is on the improve. Dylan Davis here. This horse tied for the top last race speed figure. And the trainer, Orlando Noda, in my research, he seems to be one of the better trainers at the longer dirt routes at Belmont.
Yeah.
And then he wins at 18% off of a claim. So he's kind of an under the radar trainer out there at Belmont with all those big names. Yeah. But I do like him in this spot a lot.
Yeah, he won his last race at 1 1/16, so he can handle a mile, no problem.
No question. Who else do you like?
Bingo John broke slow in his last race and ran terrible, but if he can break better in this race, he'll be right there at the end. He has a good trainer, Brad Cox, and it has a decent workout. 48.4 breezing, 21st out of 66.
The 6 horse, huh? He is dropping in class from a $250,000 race last time out. So that's a pretty big drop.
Yeah.
Sometimes those big drops like that scare me a little bit, Terry. It's almost like, can you please take this horse off my hands type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've thought the same thing in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you go from a $250,000 stakes race down to a $20,000 claiming. That makes my alarm bells go ding, 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 ding. Either this horse is going to kill them or he's going to finish 8th by 46th again.
Yeah, although I feel like he was really overmatched in that stakes race. He was raised from, up to that race. So yeah, I don't.
But even the race before that, he had won an allowance 90,000, non-winner of one lifetime. So I mean, from that to 20,000 is a huge drop. So
he's a horse. Also, if you look, he'll run bad, then good, and then.
All right, I like Manny Franco. I like horses that get to the lead. If the horse can get to the lead, that drop to me is extremely, extremely, I'll say it a 3rd time because they say in marketing, if you say things 3 times, people remember it. Extremely alarming to me. Okay. All right. So my next horse, Terry, is number 3 horse.
Okay.
And that horse is Pier 40. When you look back at this horse's runs, right, he's coming off a break. He tied for the highest last race speed figure. That was all the way back in July. Mm-hmm. But when you look back at the last time he came off the bench after a similar rest, that was from March to May. Yes. And he came back to run 1 1/16 at Belmont. Mm-hmm. And he won that race by 4 1/4 lengths with one of the top speed figures for any of the horses here at Belmont Park. Then you look at the lines underneath where they show the workouts. And October 3rd, he put in a 4 furlong work on the training track, the fastest of 95. There's a lot of horses that you have to run faster than to put in the fastest work of 95.
Oh, absolutely. The only negative thing I see about the race on May 13th was he dropped quite a bit in class to run that race. And of course, when he did, he became the hard favorite because he was running against a lot horses that he was a lot more superior than. So, but
I like the 3 horse, Terry.
All right, let's put it in.
All right, so we really don't think we could put much more here. If we were to put a horse, I had 2 more here that I like too. I like the 8 and the 5. That's why I say you and I are a little bit different here, Terry. So,
well, I like the 5 too, and the 8. I like both those. Wow. So you can put them off the side if you want. We can come back.
Yeah, if we can come back, if we have the money to do that. So this next race, Terry, is interesting to me too, because we both picked different horses on our hot dogs. We both singled them. So maybe we only need to go 2 deep here. So why don't you start with your single?
Okay, number 3, Messador. just missed in his last race, finishing third, beating a neck at today's distance on the turf. And he has a good trainer, Christoph Clement, and jockey Joel Rosario. In the last 14 days, they've been in the money 5 out of 6 times, winning 3 of those.
Now, those guys are pretty solid. I mean, just stand alone. Christoph Clement, he's very good at these turf races. To me, I singled a 2-horse, Golden Plume.
Yeah.
And I singled the 2-horse because he finished 5th in his last race, right?
Yes.
And you think to yourself, 5th, that's something that makes you want to jump up and down and scream. But I went back and looked at the 4 horses that finished in front of him.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, the one that won came back and ran another race and didn't. I think he finished like 3rd at the similar level, maybe 4th. And it bounced from its winning effort against Golden Plume. The horse who ran 2nd in that race came back to win at this level by a big margin. I think the horse that finished 3rd hasn't raced yet. And the horse that finished right in front of Golden Plume, Windfall Profit. Windfall Profit is the one that hadn't run since then. The horse that finished 3rd in that spot also came back to win at this level and by a wide margin. So 2 of the 3 horses that beat Golden Plume that day came back to win at this level in races that weren't even close. So I feel like that race is a key race, and I feel like Golden Plume just kind of got off to a pretty kind of slow start and then just got outrun to the wire, but not by a whole lot. I don't think it gets outrun to the wire today, Terry. I think Golden Plume is the best horse in this race because he's coming out of the best race where he ran well, and he'll run even better today in his 3rd lifetime start.
Well, yeah, she has an excuse for that last race. She brushed the gate coming out, and you say she finished 5th, but she was only beaten a length and a quarter, so that's not that much.
No.
And she was earning a really good 87 speed rate. So yeah. I like that horse a lot too.
Yeah, and like I said too, the other horses that came back proved to do very well. So I feel like, do you think we have to go anywhere else in this race?
No,
or you feel like that's enough?
I think that's fine. That's cool. That's good for me.
All right, so race number 9, Terry wraps up this one, and hopefully, if we have 50% of the field, one of our 50%ers finds its way to the tape. This one's 6 furlongs on the inner turf, maiden claiming $40,000. Terry, $45,000 purse. Whew. All right, so who do you like?
Number 5, Giramani. He veered out at the start of his last race, and he still finished 2nd. His race earnings is the highest of all the starters, and he drops in class today, and his best turf speed is close to the average winning speed.
Mm-hmm. I like the horse number 3, Terry. That is Majestic Tiger. Mm-hmm. You have Jose Ortiz in the irons. The horse tied for the last race high speed figure. And then Jose stays in the irons, coming back off a little bit of a break, some decent workout sense. I feel like this is a horse that will be coming very hard late. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to do at 6 furlongs in the inner turf at Belmont to have a little bit of a late kick. I do find that watching those races, it feels like they win more often than not in that respect.
Yeah, I agree. It's my 3rd pick, and he ran 6th in his last race. But again, he's only beaten 2 lengths. That's not really bad. And he has the highest last race speed rating tied with another one, and the best turf speed is fastest among today's starters, and he's tied with another horse.
So who else do you like?
Number 9, Sonic Speed. He closed to run 3rd in his last race on the turf at 5.5 furlongs, and now he stretches out to 6 furlongs. He has one of the highest last speed ratings and the highest figure at today's distance, actually tying with number 3. His best turf speed, of course, is tied with number 3 also, and the jockey Irad Ortiz has done in the last 7 days, as we said. He's finished in the money 11 times, winning 6 of those.
Yes, I like the 9-2, dropping a little bit in class in terms of purse from 50,000 down to 45, so not much. Has the top pedigree in the field for the distance and surface, and is one of a couple of horses in this field, that and Majestic Tiger, to actually run a last race speed figure that was above par for this level. So if it can run, either one of those 2 horses runs back to that last race and somebody else doesn't bounce up a lot, Terry, I feel like either one of those 2 horses has a good chance to bring home the prize. Finally, for me, my last pick, Terry, was number 11.
Oh, good.
Okay, good. So we agree. Number 11, if speed does hold out, does have ran some of the best early fractions last time out, and does have the fastest opening quarter out of any horse in this field. So if speed does win, the 11 horse Tempesta, something like that, should be one that would be hard to catch and to contain if speed is the way to the winner's circle.
Oh, I agree. It was bumped at the break last time and pinched back, which lost all chance in that race. And I like that he can either lead or come from behind in a race, which means he's very versatile. Mm-hmm. And then he has that great workout, 49 breezing, 4 furlongs, the best out of 11.
All right, so right now we're at 16 times 4, Terry, right?
Okay.
And this is the way my day has gone. A pen, that doesn't work. I should probably just have a calculator instead of doing this the old-fashioned way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's 64 times 2 is 128, right?
Yes.
So if we make it, if we can put, let's see, 25 times 4 is 100, 200. Okay, so we could put a horse in race number 6 and race number 7 and hit exactly $100 budget.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
All right, so you want to put horse number 9
yes,
in the first leg. So 9s beats us all the time. All right.
That's right.
So in the next leg, race number 7, we have the 5 and the 8, and we have to decide between those. Personally, I like the 8 horse because Jose Ortiz, I think, had a chance to ride the 5 horse as well, and he chose to go on the 8 horse. I think I have to go back and look real quick, but I wrote down that Jose was the reason why I went with the 8 over the 5, and I feel like there's a let's see, what race is that? Race number 7.
Yeah.
So yes, last time out. So Jose is on the 8, American Rule. And then, no, he was not on the 5. Yeah, he rode the 5 horse a few races back, but Kendrick Camus is on there. So coming in from Laurel, does have speed, but does tend to fade. So those to me are the ones I like. Which one do you like more?
Well, I like either one about the same. I had a hard time separating those. So the 8 would be fine for me.
All right, plus the 8's, I think, working a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead with the 8 and then watch the 5 win, Terry, both of us. And we'll be texting each other in just pure rage. Why in the world did we pick the 8? We got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Well, we have the whole damn field anyway. So, all right. So race number 6, we have the 2, 4, 8, 9, and 10. Race number 7, the 2, the 3, the 6, the 7, and the 8. Race number 8, Terry likes the 3. I like the 2. Race number 9, the 5, the 3, the 5, the 9, and the 11. That is our fly 4 to end this week for Terry and I and our pick 4s. Listen, again, I wouldn't always take a look at pick 4s because going those vertical bets can be difficult for sure, Terry, right?
That's right.
We saw yesterday top pick, second pick, and then blow up pick. So again, this is just an opportunity for Terry and I to talk about 4 races, put some horses together, use these numbers when you're doing your handicapping to either confirm, perhaps give you something to think about, but also consider exactas, trifectas, and maybe superfectas. And we're going to talk about a superfecta in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Terry, let's talk a little bit about our way we did it individually, Terry.
Okay.
So you went with a lot of horses across the top there, Terry.
Yes.
2, 4, 8, 9, and 10.
Yep. I figured that was really a wide open race.
Mm-hmm. Then you went with the 6 and the 7. You soloed the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then race number 9, you went with the 3, 5, 9, and 11. Once again, Terry, there's no way for you and I to find a common path to a pick 4. I went with the 2, 4, and 8. So we could both have the winner in the first leg. You have the 6 and 7. I have the 2, 3, 5, and 8. I don't have either one of the 6 or the 7. So you know what's going to happen already, right, Terry? The 2, the 4, or the 8 is going to win the first leg. Either the 2, the 3, the 5, or the 8 is going to win the second leg, or the 6 or 7. Absolutely. If you win the second leg, then the 2 horse is going to win the third leg. If I win the second leg, then the 3 horse is going to win the third leg. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
And then the 3, the 5, or the 11 will come home in the last leg. So blowing up both of our hot dog pick 4s, but at least giving us a shot on the fly 4.
That's right.
Indeed. And then, of course, Terry and I, we always do our pick 3 parlay. Oof, running out of there you go, Terry. You went and did it at Belmont Park. Race 3 is coming up pretty soon, folks, so you better hop to it. But, Terry, who do you like?
Number 5, Mr. Briggs, and then in race 8, number 3, Messador, and then race 9, I like number 5, Giramani.
Giramante. I went to Keeneland today. I had enough. I did all right there. Most of my races yesterday. So Keeneland race 3, number 6. Trevor drove. Keeneland race number 4, Lemonade at the Latch. And then Keeneland race number 8, the 6-horse Olympiad. That's my pick 3, or my 3P pace parlay press for the day, Terry. So I think we covered pretty much everything, right, in terms of the normal things that we do.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think
we got the news. We got the pick 4s in. We got our 3P parlays. The one thing that we haven't talked about yet today, Terry, is today's free track. If you head on over to Horse Racing Radar and hit that premium, you hit that premium tab up top there, it'll take you to this page, the one that has this little red dot. Today, Remington Park. Tomorrow we'll be there for our live contest. If you hit that, it's going to download this, right? So you'll have that from our friends at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You can get the same thing over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Yesterday, Presque Isle Downs, Terry, was our free track of the day, correct? If you remember. And if you played Presque Isle Downs, you might have had to wait for a while, but we ended up winning something like a possible, using our top 4 picks, possible $6,881.20. But a big chunk of that came in race number 8 because our top 4 picks combined for a superfecta that paid $5,400.
Oh my Lord, that's really fantastic.
Yes, so I hope somebody played it.
I do too.
Unfortunately, I was fighting with my computer and screaming in my scream room because my 2-horse, I didn't have the 2-horse in that last leg there, Terry.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps up another week, Terry, of you and I together, Monday through Thursday, going through the news, making our pick 4 selections, trying to find Sasquatch with our 3Ps, and then, of course, highlighting what's good and free over at Horse Racing Radar. Any final thoughts today before we check up and out of here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't forget, if you really liked our show, to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Racing Radar. Like us on Facebook at Racing Radar. And everybody have a great week, and don't get hurt or anything like that.
Yeah, don't get hurt. We don't want to get hurt. I woke up hurt. I don't even know how you do that. Went to bed feeling fine, woke up, my back felt like someone kicked me in it as hard as they could with some steel-toe boots. Just brutal. How does that even happen?
I don't know, but I go to bed hurting and I wake up hurting. So
well, yeah. At least you go in the same state. I wake up in a different state and I can't quite figure out what the hell I did while I was sleeping. Tonight, Terry and I, along with Sean and Tom, I'm not sure because everybody's schedule is kind of up in the air these days. We'll do our Player's Edge podcast. It's up in the air because we're not quite sure if we have a guest tonight or not. If not, it'll just be the 4 of us, and we'll be talking about some stakes races this weekend. I think we're going to cover just a couple different tracks. There's a nice race at Hawthorne. There's a nice race at Delta. There's a nice race at Keeneland, one at Belmont. Maybe we'll walk through some of those races tonight. We'll see. But that's at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Horse Racing Radar TV station on YouTube. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and the bell. On Facebook, if you like us, you'll be notified when we go live. And Sean always socializes when we're about to go live. So if you follow us on Twitter, you'll know when we're about to hit the screen to talk about the news, make our opinions known, and then, of course, try to make our picks and avoid the scream room at the end. Terry, as always, it's been my pleasure to work with you this week. Hopefully we do well tonight. Terry and I will see you tomorrow night for that live contest at Remington Park. Trainer Carl Broberg. Make sure you check that out. That's going to be classic. I have a feeling.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm looking forward to it. So
until then, folks, as always, we hope that all of your picks end up in the winner's circle. And just like Carl Broberg said, that maybe even those winners might stuff your pockets full of cash. Right. We'll see you tonight, and then Terry and I will see you next Thursday. Tom and I will be back tomorrow, same bat time, to discuss international racing in England. All right, Terry, we'll see you tonight. Have a great Thursday, everybody.